The latest round of the ABB FIA Formula E World Championship took us to a new circuit. It's not a new circuit in the world of motorsport, it's the shorter version of the Miami International Autodrome. And it did produce an interesting race. Slightly delayed because of the rain and because of standing water. We had 5 laps behind the safety car before we got underway for 34 laps plus 2 added laps. And we saw Mitch Evans take the win. Also take the fastest lap. I'd say that Jags have generally got the measure of the wet weather. I mean, we could look at Shanghai last year. Granted, that was Cassidy, wasn't it, who ended up lapped in this one. Who still leads the championship, by the way. But for Jag, getting a win, having had no points so far this season, and getting both cars in the top 10, though Abdak really should have been higher up. He got 8th in the end. But it's still a good weekend for Jaguar. And I do feel for him, because you could argue that it wasn't entirely his fault. I mean, the contact wasn't, really, was it? But, yeah, it was contact that ended up ending the race of Drugovic, a fellow Portuguese speaker, with the Brazilian retiring, having started second. But at the same time, Max Gunter didn't make it to the end, and nor did Dan Ticktum. Ticktum looked like he'd made the mistake with the tyres. Similar kind of thing to what we saw Gunter do as well. But at the end of it all, yeah, we had a lot of drivers a lap down. Nick Cassidy, Norman Nato as well, finished a lap down. And we had some interesting results in the top 10. Both the Envisions got into the top 10, for example. It was a good week all around for the Jaguar powertrains. Well, all 4 of them ended up in the top 8, with 2 Mahindras and 2 Porsches. And then you have the Cooper Kiro and the Andretti of Jake Dennis rounding out the top 10 at the end of all of that. Well, it does mean, like I said, in the championship, Nick Cassidy still leads. He's on 40 points. Pascal Wehrlein has scored in all 3 races and is second place on 38. As for Jake Dennis, who is on 37 points. Nico Muller's also scored in all 3 races and is in 5th on 33. Roden's in between the 2 of them on 34, and he did nearly go for the fastest lap. But that went the way of Mitch Evans in the end. Then you have, Mortara tied with Evans on points. They're both on 26. And Ericsson, Buemi and Barnard. That's from only 1 point score, the P4 last time out in Mexico. And then as for the teams, Porsche leads Citroen, 71 to 44. Mahindra in 3rd with 38. Andretti in 4th with 37. Nissan in 5th with 35. Jaguars score here puts them up to 7th place in the standings on 30. They were in last. All the teams have scored points this season, which is nice. And in the manufacturers, for Jaguar, it's up to 3rd in the standings, and now ahead of Nissan, who are 4th on 43. Ahead of Mahindra, who are 5th on 40. And yeah, again, massive points all helping them up the order. Granted, I think they were already ahead of Lola going into this. That's a powertrains manufacturer, but they're 7 points behind Stellantis. And Porsche are on 88. So 88, 63, 56 for the top 3 there. And quickly, in terms of the venue, I think it was okay. I think, because they've purchased it, haven't they, Liberty? They've purchased Formula E. I think as we move towards that kind of era of Formula E, we're going to see more of this. The question is it good, is it bad? I'm not honestly too sure. So, yeah, on the one hand, moving the Miami Pre into Miami instead of out in Homestead should have improved attendance figures, but I still saw about maybe a quarter of the grandstand on the broadcast was empty. That was on the pit straight. I don't know if they were using any other grandstands for this weekend. Be nice to see FE get the attention it deserves. Not sure how best they do it. I think that trying to have it in the cities is the best thing to do. Because, well, people are already in the cities. But aside from that, I don't know. I don't know if there's anything that they need to do to boost the series profile to be able to get more people to go. I don't know if that's part of their mission, though. Because if it starts to do that, they start to compete with F1. Or, even if it's not really competing with F1, some people may say it is. But yeah, either way, the series with the better Monaco races. It's got, what, Saudi in a couple of weeks' time? And not too long. I know it is quite a while this season, isn't it? Because we've got Madrid and then Berlin before the Monaco doubleheader. I was going to say not too long. Just 3.5 months. But either way, folks, thanks for watching. Thanks for joining. Thanks for your support. Let me know any thoughts you've had in the comment section down below. And until next time, it's bye for now.